Discussing the Alaskan earthquake that occurred on March 27th, 1964 at 5:36 p.m. Just for starters, the background of this current screen is what happened that day, sadly, and you can see all the buildings just destructed and all the cars even just destroyed all of the land. The facts. Here we have a map on the left of all of the different adjacent land. You can see the star. Prince William Sound is where the main spot of the earthquake happened. All these connecting islands were affected by this. So you can see the magnitude was 9.2, and as I mentioned, it did occur in the Prince William Sound region of Alaska. It is the second largest earthquake ever to happen. These are just tiny little volcanoes. This is a great map. I found this on USGS. Here's the key. But yeah, so the earthquake did last approximately 4.5 minutes, and the earthquake rupture started approximately 25 kilometers beneath the surface, with its epicenter about 6 miles, 10 kilometers east of the mouth of College Fjord, 56 miles west of Valetas, and 75 miles east of Anchorage. This is a quote that I found from the USGS regarding the map. I think it just best explained it than me just spewing out words, but I really appreciated that quote. You can see the Pacific plate here just pressing into the North American plate, sliding kind of underneath it. And then I'll talk more about that in the next slide. So, what type of fault was it? It was a reverse fault because the Pacific plate went underneath the North American plate. It was explosive eruption. There was many different volcanoes that was along the edge. An additional hazard was there being a great tsunami. Because that the Pacific plate was in the water and pressing into the North American plate, clearly those waves were directed towards the land and just sadly just destroyed a lot of everything that was built and made there for everybody. A lot of ramifications from that, including these islands, but mainly on Prince William Sound because that is where the earthquake happened. Next we can go on to seeing that the quake had caused a giant underwater landslide that resulted in giant waves on shore. And then this is just a fun little fact. In a nearby Chute Bay, the local tsunami reached 200 feet in height and destroyed a remote cabin. So I just thought that was kind of just something to be aware of, that the tsunami reached such high measures, and destroyed just a lot of things that happened. That is something that did happen. So resulting from the tsunami and from the earthquake, many ramifications occurred because of these events, along with many structures collapsing. To talk about the critical damage, there were 139 deaths. The earthquake only caused 15, but the tsunami had the most cause was 124 people. There was $400 million in property loss. Not sure if that was a combination of the earthquake and the tsunami, or mainly the tsunami or mainly the earthquake, for either of those. I would assume it was a lot to do with the earthquake. Just looking at the damage on my right here, you can just see all the land just breaking apart. Even someone that was in the earthquake, they said they were just having dinner and they go outside and they can see there's snow, rock, gravel, grass, just everything crumbled up together just from the earthquake. How can we avoid this in the future? So, clearly, natural disaster is something we can't always navigate or we can't always control because it is natural disaster. It's just our Earth doing its thing. And so we can't really control that, but some things we can control on our end is to structure heavy objects to the floors and walls, like a TV. Make sure that's on the wall very like tightly, and or if you have it on the floor, or even cabinetry, just keeping that. Making sure that those things are structurally competent on the walls and floors. Um, and yeah, and like let's say you have a picture frame hanging above um, your favorite couch. Maybe that's not the best place to put it because if an earthquake were to happen, it could drop on someone's head and hurt them. That's just a little bits and pieces that we can control. Structural mitigation, just making sure our foundation is solid and firm and that we're doing everything we can to maintain the best combat at earthquakes if there were an earthquake to happen, and make sure that our structure is firm and just the best we can to do that. And even just making sure the structural capacity is just large enough to maintain that those things around us. Another thing is to practice and develop evacuation plans, just making sure that we are thorough with how we do that, and just making sure that we are doing everything we can, to just make sure people are safe. And even, let's say there's a tsunami and, we don't really know where to go. Well, I think the best place to go would be up. So if you are in a tall building, to try and find a tall building even and just go to the highest part possible on that. Just to avoid the water getting to you, I guess. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about this. But I hope this helped, and I appreciate you listening. So thank you.